Hello there, this is Teacher Luz of Canglish.com. Welcome to another video lecture using the book Essential Grammar in Use, 3rd edition by Raymond Murphy. Today we will continue our lesson on Unit 6 about the present simple negative tense. Well, before we start with the part 2 of this lesson, let us first have a review of what we studied in part 1, okay? Now, we studied that the present simple negative is don't or doesn't plus the verb, right? And for the words I, we, you, and they, we use the words don't or the long form do not. For example, I don't drink coffee. We don't work on weekends. But for the words he, she, and it, and for proper nouns, we use the word doesn't or does not. He doesn't drink tea. She doesn't work on weekends. Those are perfect examples of how to use the present simple negative properly. Okay, now we can move on to more things about the present simple negative tense. Another reminder, we use I, we, you, and they, and the word don't to make your sentence in the present simple negative form. And for he, she, and it, we use the word doesn't or does not. For example, I don't like football. He doesn't like football. Now let's look at the following sentences that demonstrates the proper use of the simple present negative. I don't like Fred and Fred doesn't like me. You don't say Fred don't like, okay? And then, my car doesn't use much petrol. By the way, when you say my car, you can substitute it with the word it, right? So we use doesn't or does not. You don't say, my car don't use, because that is wrong. Remember, we use doesn't for the word it, okay? Next. Sometimes he is late, but it doesn't happen very often. Remember, for the word it, we use the term doesn't or does not. Okay? Now, we use don't or doesn't plus the infinitive form of the verb. Now, let's first study what is the meaning of the infinitive, okay? Infinitives, the simple form of the verb that has no subject and does not show past, present, or future. It is usually preceded by the word to. But when we are making sentences in the present simple negative form, we only use the base form of the verb. This you have to remember, okay? For example, I don't speak Spanish very well. Don't speak. Speak is your infinitive right here. Now let's go to the second sentence. Jane doesn't have an English book. Remember that for he, she, it, and for proper nouns, we use doesn't, right? Look at this one. Doesn't have. That is the base form of the verb. Okay? To demonstrate my point, let's look at the following sentences. I don't like washing the car. I don't do it very often. Don't like and don't do. Both the words like and do are in the base form of the verb, making it an infinitive. Next, Sarah speaks Spanish, but she doesn't speak Italian. You don't say doesn't speaks, okay? Because remember, we should use the base form of the verb. Next, Bill doesn't do his job very well. You don't say Bill doesn't his job. That is wrong. For the last sentence you have, Paula doesn't usually have breakfast. I hope you still remember our lesson in Unit 5 about the use of these words. Do you remember? These are your adverbs of frequency. Usually. So remember that after don't or doesn't, we put the adverb of frequency and then the verb in the base form. So that makes our sentence. Paula doesn't usually have breakfast. You don't say doesn't and then has. Alright? Well, that's it for the lessons in Unit 6. I hope you learned a lot about the present simple negative tense. I'm sure that you can make your own sentences in the present simple negative tense, right? That will be my challenge for you. Try to make sentences with this tense. I'm sure you will do a very good job. Well, that's it for our lesson today. If you have any questions or if you want to study more, please visit our website. That's camglish.com. This is Teacher Luz bidding you farewell. Bye!